that Clay Helton is going to return as the head football coach at USC. And what was the reaction?
I'm still trying to find one positive reaction on any social media platform. And I'm failing, guys. The reaction right now is not positive. I think there's a lot of shock. I won't say I'm in shock, maybe a little surprised. In my last article, I kind of said that Clay Helton was going to be on this list, and he ended up being the choice. So this is where we're at right now. I don't think there's a lot of happy campers. We might have to wait 24, 36, 48 hours. But right now, duck and cover.
Yeah, the fan base is definitely not happy, and no surprise there. The outcry for replacing him was pretty loud. Fans are pretty vocal, and ultimately, you do need to make the fans happy. You don't let the fans dictate how you make decisions, but at some point, those empty seats at the Coliseum need to be filled. Or now, so now, I think the anger is off Clay Helton, and it's on Mike Bohn, and rightfully so. Mike Bohn's on the clock now, and if USC goes to Alabama, goes and plays Alabama first game next year, and they lose, that is not going to sit well. That means the next game at the Coliseum is probably going to be half empty. So, on the other hand, I do know that players on the football team and family members, I'm not going to say all of them because it's not everyone, but the majority of players and recruits and their families are happy about this decision. So I think that, recruiting going forward is going to pick up a little bit now because the uncertainty on who's going to be the head football coach has now been eliminated.
Absolutely.
So, I think USC fans might actually be kind of shocked on how well USC finishes with recruiting.
And if you're paying attention to the site, Scott's been dropping some recruiting information, and people might be shocked. And I think this is where Mike Bohn ultimately made his decision. I'm speculating. I haven't had a chance to talk to him. USC's recruiting class was going to be small regardless. And I think they're thinking that once we get some clarity going with the staff, they can now focus on the key players that they were going to fill those small numbers with. And some early feedback we're getting is kind of positive. So, if that's what they're going with this, they're going all in. Hey, we got a small class. We're going after those key guys, and we're going to get those key guys. The next step is you've got to beat Alabama. If you don't do that, this whole thing that we're talking about right now, it doesn't matter because, like Scott just said a moment ago, the Coliseum is going to be empty for that first home game.
Yeah.
Especially if it's an ugly loss in Dallas.
So going forward, though, there's going to have to be some changes. I mean, USC was ranked 80 or something like that on defense. They were ranked 100 and something in penalties. So, they've got to tighten things up with the discipline. They've got to get better on defense. So, there's very likely going to be some coaching changes. We're not privy on what those changes are going to be. But, if they do not make any changes, other staff changes, I'm not quite sure why they would bring Clay Helton back.
Yeah, look, this isn't any trade secret. Anybody who is worth their weight and has watched USC football this year and even last year knows that changes need to be made on one side of the ball, and that's on the defensive side. There's some question marks on special teams as well. So, you know what? Let's see what happens going forward. We saw the statement released from Clay Helton. They're being given the resources. Let's see what kind of changes are made.
So, other than that, there's not really a whole lot to say about this other than, there's going to be a couple more recruiting visit weekends. Kids are going to be taking official visits. There's going to be an offensive lineman from Texas, Cortland Ford. There's going to be a linebacker from Narbonne, Jordan Banks. There's going to, do you remember who they all are? We heard today, either this weekend or next weekend, five-star linebacker Justin Flo will take an official visit to USC as well. Right. They do have guys coming in. Andres DeWerk, offensive lineman commit.
Now that there's some clarity on the situation, the recruiting is going to start picking up. You're going to start seeing some names come back into the picture. You might see some names leave the picture. Point is, they can start moving forward now, and I think that's what everybody's been waiting for, at least from this aspect.
Yep.
Now, the team this week, they're working out, they're lifting, they're conditioning. Sometime Saturday or Sunday, they'll find out where their bowl destination is going to be, and they'll start practicing for their opponent. But until then, this is where we're at, guys. Clay Helton's the coach in 2020.
All right, so everybody, check out uscscoop.com. That's our site. We'll be putting out tidbits and information that.
Scott will bring you the inside information.
Yes, I will bring you the information, and we will give you some recruiting stuff. We'll let you know on what's good. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we're going to bring you some strong opinions, and we'll look for your input as well.
All right, guys.